Hi, so I'm finally back with part 2 of my February wrap-up. It's way later than I was hoping to get it up, but you know what? Better late than never, am I right? Unless this is, not worth the wait, which, very debatable. Anyway, I read some more books in February, totally jinxed myself when I said it was going great, because I was low-key getting into a reading slump towards the end of the month, but it's fine. Still read some things, and I'm gonna tell you about them. I finally read Miss Marvel Volume 1, and it was so good, y'all. It was just amazing. Kamala Khan is just my precious daughter, and I want to protect her. Obviously, this follows Miss Marvel, and this is sort of the origin issue, volume, whatever, for Kamala's story about how she gets her powers, and it's just so much fun, and I just love it so much. And I have volume 2 waiting for me at the library because, obviously. And then, remember how I said I was going to continue reading Saga? I got the next 2 volumes in the series. I think it's 4 and 5? Yeah, 4 and 5. So I can't tell you what they're about because obviously it would be spoilers for the previous volumes, issues, all of that. But basically it's this space opera, I keep using that to describe a type thing, where the people are part of 2 enemy alien species and they're in a relationship and like the whole universe is hunting them down. It's just a lot of fun to follow, and I love the characters and I love the artwork, and I'm just so invested in the story. It's not even real. On a similar but like way less successful note, I read the next volume of The Wicked and the Divine. This, I don't know, I think it's volume 3. Yeah, it's volume 3. They couldn't get a hold of the person doing the illustrations for the other volumes or something. So this had like a bunch of different artists collaborating on it, and it just, those are my feelings towards it, because as you know, if you've watched my other videos, I found this series to be hard to keep up with. I feel like that's one way to put it. I'm not that invested in the story. I'm just kind of curious, but also could live without it, you feel. But the artwork was just so beautiful that I needed to keep going. But this, like, some of the issues in the volume were like decent. I almost didn't notice the change at first. I thought it was just like me being weird. But then it's just the art style gets terrible, honestly, by the end. Like the last 2 issues or so were just so terrible, and I was just not a fan. And then I didn't even remember getting this from the library, but somehow I did. And I finally read The Duff by Cody Keplinger. Is that her name? Yeah. Like, this is a very teen drama sort of novel. I think the author wrote it when she was 17, and you can definitely tell it's very angsty, very dramatic. I saw the movie when it first came out, and actually I was expecting the book to be more like it, but they're actually just 2 different entities. The movie is just very fluffy and lighthearted, and this is a lot more heavy-hitting, a lot more serious. I don't know which I preferred. This was, overall, it was somewhat enjoyable, but a lot of the things just rubbed me the wrong way, and I feel like it's a lot to do with the author writing it when she was so young and stuff. Because it's just the idea of this, cynical, quirky outsider Duff girl just judging regular, typical girly girls and just slut-shaming. I was not a fan of that. Also, the words OCD and depressed were used in sort of a casual way, which I'm just not a fan of. Like, mental illness isn't an adjective, But yeah, I don't know how I felt overall. I don't feel like it was something that will stay with me till the end of my life. I feel like I might rewatch the movie sooner than I would reread the book, you feel? A throwback to when the Dove was like the thing on BookTube. Oh my god. And then I know I'm just hella late to the game, but I finally read Shadow and Bone by the myth, the woman, the legend, Lee Bardugo, the queen. This is Lee's first book in the Grisha verse, and I made the mistake of reading Six of Crows first, and just nothing can ever top that. You can definitely tell that this was written way before. You feel it's still really enjoyable. I love the characters except for Mal. I'm like so meh about him. Mal, more like Mel. No, I'll show myself out, but you do get the idea. But I don't feel like I love them as much as I love everyone in Six of Crows. I know that it's terrible to keep comparing the two, but I can help it. I am actually hella excited to keep on with the series. I don't know when that will be, but I definitely did enjoy it, and I thought it was a really nice first book in the series. I feel like the magic system still isn't completely explained very well. I'm just very thankful to have had a friend explain it all to me before I read Six of Crows, and I thought it would be more explained in this, but everyone's just sort of mentioned, and I'm like, also I should have known all of this before I read the book. Yeah, I don't know, that's just sort of how I felt, but overall just fantastic. Lee Bardugo can do very little wrong in my eyes. Anyway, so yeah, that was what I read in the month of February, or at least the second half of it, I suppose. Thank you all so much for watching, and I will catch you guys later, hopefully. I don't know. Yeah, bye.